Strength is not built when life is easy. It is built in the moments you want to quit but decide to continue. Most people think mental strength means never feeling pain, never feeling fear, never feeling doubt. But that is a myth. Real resilience begins the moment you accept that pain is part of the path. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is strong. The rain is heavy. You cannot stop the storm. You cannot control the sky. But you can decide whether you stand firm or run in panic. Life works the same way. You cannot control every loss, betrayal, failure, or setback, but you can control how you respond. There was a Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius who ruled during one of the most difficult times in Roman history. War surrounded the empire. A deadly plague spread through the population. Political enemies watched for weakness, yet in his private writings he never complained about fate. Instead, he reminded himself that obstacles are not interruptions to life, they are life. He believed that every difficulty was training for the mind. Mental strength begins with acceptance. Not passive acceptance, but powerful acceptance. When something goes wrong, most people waste energy asking, "Why me?" They replay the situation. They blame others. They blame destiny. But resilient people ask a different question. What is this teaching me? That shift alone changes everything. Think about a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal is heated until it glows. Then it is hammered again and again. The process looks violent, but without fire and pressure, the metal remains weak. Your struggles are the fire. Your setbacks are the hammer. Without them, you remain untested. There is a story about Epictetus, who was born a slave. He had no power, no wealth, no freedom. Yet he became one of the most respected Stoic teachers in history. He taught that while external circumstances can limit your body, they cannot control your mind unless you allow it. He believed true freedom comes from mastering your response, not your environment. Resilience does not mean life becomes easier. It means you become stronger. When criticism comes, you listen calmly. When failure happens, you adjust your strategy. When people doubt you, you continue silently. The strongest minds are not loud, they are steady. Modern life makes resilience difficult. We are used to comfort, instant replies, instant results, instant gratification. So when something requires patience, we feel frustrated. When success takes time, we feel discouraged. But strength grows slowly, like a tree planting deep roots underground before anyone sees growth above the surface. Imagine two people losing their job on the same day. One sees it as proof they are a failure. They withdraw, they complain, they lose confidence. The other sees it as redirection. They study their weaknesses. They build new skills. They apply again with more preparation. Same event, different mindset, different outcome. Your mind is like a muscle. If you avoid all discomfort, it weakens. If you face controlled challenges, it grows. This is why difficult workouts build physical strength. The same principle applies mentally. Do hard things on purpose. Wake up earlier than required. Finish tasks even when motivation fades. Stay calm when provoked. Each small act builds internal discipline. There is another lesson from Seneca, who wrote letters about hardship and adversity. He advised practicing voluntary discomfort. Sleeping on a hard surface sometimes, eating simple meals, preparing for loss before it happens. Why would anyone choose discomfort? Because when real hardship arrives, it no longer feels shocking. The mind has rehearsed struggle. Resilience also requires emotional control. You cannot build strength if every emotion controls you. When anger rises, observe it. When fear appears, question it. Ask yourself what is truly in your control. Often the only thing you control is effort and attitude. But that is enough. One of the strongest habits you can develop is reframing. Instead of saying, "This is happening to me," say, "This is happening for me." That single change transforms obstacles into opportunities. A rejection becomes feedback. A mistake becomes experience. A delay becomes preparation time. Consider the life of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years imprisoned before becoming president of South Africa. Most men would have left prison filled with hatred. But he chose forgiveness. He chose vision over revenge. That is resilience at the highest level. Strength is not reacting with bitterness. It is responding with purpose. You must also understand that resilience is built in silence, not on social media, not through announcements, but through private decisions when no one is watching. The decision to try again after failure. The decision to stay disciplined when bored. The decision to remain honest when lying would be easier. Pain is a teacher, but only if you listen. Every setback carries information. If a relationship ends, ask what you could improve. If a project fails, ask what skill was missing. Do not let pain pass without extracting its lesson. Otherwise, suffering becomes wasted experience. There will be days when motivation disappears. Days when doubt becomes loud. Days when progress feels invisible. Those are the most important days. Because continuing on those days separates the average from the resilient. Picture a marathon runner at mile 20. Their legs are heavy. Their lungs burn. The finish line is not yet visible. That moment defines them more than the first mile. Anyone can start. Few can endure. Mental strength is endurance of the mind. Remember that resilience is not about never breaking. It is about rebuilding quickly. You may fall, you may fail, you may lose, but how fast do you rise? That is your true measure. Start small. Choose one difficult task each day and complete it without complaint. Reduce the habit of blaming. Replace it with ownership. Train yourself to respond instead of react. Over time, your identity changes. You no longer see yourself as fragile. You begin to see yourself as capable. And once you see yourself as capable, your behavior follows. You take bigger risks. You tolerate discomfort longer. You recover faster from disappointment. Strength becomes your default setting. The world will not become softer for you. Challenges will not disappear. People will not always understand you. But if you build mental resilience, none of that will stop you, because resilience is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling your mind within it. In the end, mental strength is a quiet confidence, a deep knowing that whatever happens, you will handle it. Not perfectly, not without pain, but with courage and persistence. So, the next time life tests, you do not ask why this is happening. Ask who you are becoming because of it. Every storm is shaping you. Every obstacle is sharpening you. Every setback is strengthening you. And if you endure with patience and discipline, you will look back one day and realize the hardest moments were the ones that built the strongest version of you.